Okay, so good afternoon for 106. Clear ba yung aking audio? Anyone? Ayan, okay. So, I think it's already 4:35 na, no? So, nag-exit na tayo ng 5 minutes. So, I think we can start na towards our discussion. And again, few reminders, if still there are some of your classmates na wala pa po dito sa Meet, so kindly message them, kindly join our meeting because we will be finishing the chapter 1 for the IT 414 SQA. Ano po? So, this topic or this chapter should be or should be done or dapat tapos na po natin yan nung last Friday. But because we have training during that time, so minove na lang po natin yung ating discussion for SQA Chapter 1. So we still have two remaining topics left or subtopics left for Chapter 1, which is this PowerPoint and yung last PowerPoint natin for today. And yung Chapter 2, we will be starting our Chapter 2 by next meeting, which is on Friday ng 4 to 6. Okay po ba tayo doon? Ayan, okay. So again, if we have any questions and clarifications as we move to the PowerPoint presentation, again, kindly use our raise hand button. Okay, yan, so that you can call my attention and I will be giving you the permission to open your microphone and say your question. Okay, because again, I have a limited view of the participants now. Okay, so hindi ko na kayo masyado nakikita dyan. So please, if you have any questions, wag pong mahihiyang magtanong. Okay, so let's start na. Kindly give me nga a sad reaction if we can start na doon sa ating discussion. Ayan, okay, so I'm seeing your reaction. Okay, so for our chapter 1, so we're able to discuss, okay, the first two subpart, okay, or subtopic of chapter 1, which is about fundamentals of software testing and the careers in testing. Okay, so for the continuation, okay, we will be now discussing the 7 principles of software testing, or these are the 7 disciplines that we can follow kapag tayo naman po ay magte-test ng isang system. Again, some sort of review. Software testing is done to assure that before the deployment of the system to the business itself, okay, we are able to discover some of the errors that can be found by the users. Kumbaga sa madaling sabi, tayo na mismo yung naghahanap ng mga possible error na pwedeng ma-encounter ng ating mga users. At the same time, instead of causing it with a much costlier, okay, damages kapag yung error po was found by the user side, so we are preventing it during the testing phase pala. Yes, it is an added process. It is an added steps, kumbaga, in terms of the development. But again, it is more cost efficient pa rin in terms of its expenses. Okay, so for this module, we will be discussing what are those 7 principles or what are those 7 disciplines that we should apply, okay, when we will be doing software testing. Okay, so for the overview, here are the 7 principles of software testing. From first, testing shows presence of defects up until the last, or the 7th principle, which is the absence of error, a fallacy. Okay, so we have here this background, okay, of a software testing. Sabi dito, it is important that you achieve the optimum test result while conducting software testing without deviating from the goal. Take note po, okay, that we are doing testing not to just test the system itself, but to achieve the optimum test results. Ibig sabihin, by achieving the optimum test results, we are able to verify and validate if our system achieves the both functional and non-functional requirements. Again po, when we say functional requirements, those are the specific functions of your system. kung ano yung kayang gawin ng applications nyo. When we say non-functional, so those are the performances or the things that your system or application should do. Okay? Next, okay, how you determine that you are following the right strategy. Paano nga na ba natin masasabi that we are following or let's say having the right approach in terms of software testing? Kasi in the real world scenario or real world setup po, okay, hindi po tayo basta-basta naggagawa ng testing. Okay, hindi pwedeng, okay, dahil gusto ko lang ngayon i-test yung system, bubuksan ko lang yung laptop, okay, I will be talking to the developer, okay, give me the access of the system, I will test it, hindi po ganon. Okay, so for this topic, okay, these 7 principles will help us in, okay, designing the right strategy for testing. Okay? Sabi dyan, for that, you need to stick to some of the basic testing principles. Okay? So that, okay, because of that, here are the common 7 testing principles that are widely practiced in the software industry. Okay? So this is not just kumbaga, lessons. This is not just about concepts. It is something that commonly practiced and continuously practiced in the software industry. Okay, so by the time na halimbawa, kayo naman yung nasa industry or nasa company na QA, being the one who are testing the system, so you can review, pwede nyong balikan itong PowerPoint na to, okay, and look and read the 7 principles kung paano nyo ba pwedeng simulan yung testing. Okay? So, we have here the example. Ito yung scenario. Sabi dito, to understand this, consider this scenario. So, halimbawa, we will be testing the functionality of a system wherein we will be moving or ililipat natin yung isang file from folder A to folder B. Okay, ito daw yung gagawin nating testing o ito yung ating itetest. We will be testing whether if the system will be able to move a certain file from folder A to folder B. Okay, so ano po yung gagawin natin dyan? The first thing that we need to do is we need to think of all the possible ways that you can test this. Okay, ano ba yung mga possible way para masabi natin that okay, there are no errors when we will be moving our file from folder A to folder B. Okay, so yun yung first thinking that we should have. Okay, isipin natin. Then sabi dyan, here are the usual scenarios wherein we will be testing or executing this testing. Okay, sabi dito, if you were to test the entire possible combinations, okay, magkakaroon tayo ng execution time and cost would rise exponentially. Ibig sabihin, if lahat ng naisip mo na possible test case scenarios ay gagawin mo, it would consume time, okay, execution time, at the same time, tataas din yung cost and expenses. Tulad ng sabi natin, in terms of the development, a QA, a tester is another team composition or a profession that was included on a dev team. Okay, it is a separate from the developers, separate from project managers. Okay, iba din po yung trabaho ng isang tester. So, ibig sabihin, if you will be giving the tester all of the possible test cases that you have think or naisip, it would consume time for the tester to execute it, and definitely, kailangan mo yung bayadan. Kaya sabi dyan, it would rise exponentially. So therefore, sabi dyan, you need certain principles and strategies to optimize the testing effort. Okay? So let's say sa scenario wherein we cannot execute all of the test cases, what are the following or what are the right approaches na pwede natin gamitin para maging efficient, okay? Sabi dyan, optimize yung testing effort natin. So here are the following, okay? na mga test cases na pwede natin gawin based dun sa test scenario na pagpapa-move natin ng file A, ng file from folder A to folder B. Sabi dyan yung first test natin, test case or test case scenario, when we are trying to move the file when it is open. Yun yung first condition. Okay? Kapag ba open yung file, okay, and we move it from folder A to folder B, will it be successful? Okay? Kapag hindi siya naging successful, can be it considered as a passed or failed? Okay? Second test case, you do not have the security rights to paste the file in folder B. Ito yung second. Paano kung halimbawa, you don't have the permission to move a file from folder B? Eh, nag-move yung file kahit may restrictions. So therefore, we can say that it is a failed test case. Kasi nangyari yung dapat hindi mangyari, which is dapat we are not able to paste it from folder B. Okay? Okay, we have the third test case. Sabi dyan, folder B is on shared drive and storage capacity is full. How about naman kapag full na yung isang folder, yung folder B puno na? Okay, kapag nagtry ba akong mag-paste, okay, yung file from folder A and hindi siya nag-paste because, again, it's full, can we consider it as a passed or failed test case? Okay, so that's our fourth test case. Number 5, ayan, ito namang number 5, it is about our input. Sabi dyan, or suppose you have 15 input fields to test. Meron ka daw itetest na 15 inputs. So, ibig sabihin yan, ng total possible combinations that you can put on those text fields or 15 fields would be 5 raised to 15. So, i-compute nyo yan in calculator, that's the number of possible combinations that you can try on those 15 inputs. Ayan. Question. Okay, so answer it na lang by clicking the reactions. Okay. Is it possible to do these 15 raised to 15 combinations in testing? Is it possible to execute these 5 raised to 15 combinations in terms of testing? Kaya bang i-test yung 15 raised to 5 raised to 15 combinations? If you said yes, sir, it is possible, click this thumbs up. If you think that it is not possible, thumbs down. Okay, do you think it is possible? Okay, to execute this 5 raised to 15 okay, combinations in terms of testing these 15 input fields. Okay, para lang ma-validate natin that okay, there are no errors on those 15 fields. Itry mo yung 5 raised to 15 combinations. Okay, so let's try to calculate. Wait lang, calculate natin. Yung 15, wait lang. Yung 15, okay, yung 15 natin when raised, okay, to 5 rather, 5 raised to 15 ay nasa 30 billion, I think, 3, 6, 9, 12, or at least billion combinations. Okay? Ibig sabihin, there would be 30 billion plus possible combinations just to test whether these 15 fields, okay, do not have an error. Okay? Although, if we will think, okay, that's possible, okay, but you do not need to execute this 5 raised to 15 number of combinations. Again, you do not need to execute it all. Okay, just some, just to test whether this is a test, okay, that doesn't have an error. Again, we are aiming to optimize the testing effort in terms also of reducing the execution time and cost. Okay, ano yung mas efficient way? Yun yung aim natin in testing. Okay? So here are now the 7 principles in software testing. Okay. So let's first have the first principle. Sabi dito, exhaustive testing is not possible. Hindi daw posible, okay, yung exhaustive testing. Sabi dyan, it is not possible. Instead, okay, we need optimal amount of testing based on the risk assessment of the application. Sir, what do we mean by exhaustive testing? So it is an approach or a testing that we are executing all of the possible inputs, possible path, and even possible scenarios. Lahat ng possible na pwede nating i-test para ma-validate yung ating system ay ginagawa natin in terms of exhaustive testing. So, to go back with our previous example, ang example po niyan is itong last test case natin na number 5. Okay? By means of exhaustive testing, gagawin mo yung 30 billion test cases, 30 billion combinations of number, which is not possible. Okay? Hindi mo naman kayang isa-isahin yan. Okay? Hindi mo naman kayang i-manual i-test yan. Kaya sabi doon sa exhaustive is not possible, okay, we are aiming to do the testing based on the risk assessment of the application. So, ibig sabihin, you will be just picking ano yung mga test cases that would have, okay, na merong severity of risk. By means of severity of risk, alin yung mga errors na mas malaki yung pwedeng maging damage. Okay? Ano yung error na pwedeng kapag nakita natin, it would cause harm and failure of the system. Okay? Kaya sabi dyan, how you determine the risk. Paano nga naman natin i-determine yung risk? Okay? We have here an example. Sabi dito. Halimbawa, we will be testing the OS of a system. Itatest natin yung operating system. Now, in order for us to determine when it will fail, ano yung mga test cases na pwede natin gawin? Okay, sabi dito, I'm sure most of you would have guessed opening 10 different application at all at the same time. So yung first test case natin daw, para ma-check natin when the OS will fail, is nagbukas tayo ng 10 application ng sabay-sabay. Okay? Sabi doon, so if you were testing this OS, you would realize that defects are likely to be found in multitasking activity and need to be tested thoroughly. Okay, nung halimbawa you open 10 applications at the same time and the OS fails, bumagal, nasira, ibig sabihin the severity of the risk, okay, that this system will encounter an error is nandoon sa kanyang performance testing. It cannot handle 10 applications at the same time. So, mas uunahin mo ngayon siyang i-test. Yun yung magiging priority mo. Okay? Because nandoon yung error. Kaya sabi dyan, you need to test it thoroughly. Okay? Pwede mo namang i-test yung halimbawa, it's opening time. Inoorasan mo kung gaano siya katagal mag-boot. Okay? You can do that, but since mas severe, okay, yung possible error that we can encounter in this scenario, ito, pwedeng ito muna yung unahin mo. Okay? Pwedeng ito yung tested that you will test it thoroughly. Okay? Kaya you need to assess its risk. Okay? You should determine it first. Okay? Again, it is not possible to do all of the possible inputs test cases. So you should choose, know, ano yung mga test cases na mas kailangan unahin. Okay? Questions so far? Can you give me a thumbs up if andyan pa kayo? Okay. Ayan. Okay. So next, let's move with the second. Now, we have here the second principle. Second principle is the defect clustering. Okay, sabi dito, defect clustering states that a small amount of module, okay, contain most of the defects detected. Okay? Dito papasok yung sinasabi nating Pareto principle. Wherein, sabi dyan, approximately 80% of the problems are found in 20% of the module. Okay, so ano yung ibig sabihin nito? Okay, you must first test, okay, small number of modules. Ibig sabihin, you will be targeting each of the modules first. Okay, or you will give priority in testing the small modules. By means of small modules, ito yung mga small piece of codes. Okay, small piece of codes. Halimbawa, you will be testing the login module. Si login module, meron siyang code na function sa backend. So you will be testing the code of it. Okay? Because most of the time, yung mga errors doon mo makikita. It is on those small modules that you can find the defects. Okay, defects means errors. Okay? Sabi dito, by experience, you can identify such risky modules, but this approach has its own problems. And take note that if same tests are repeated over and over again, eventually the same test case will no longer find new bugs. Ang ibig sabihin lang dito, when you are testing those small number of modules, okay, you need to review the previous test cases. Okay, after reviewed it, you add, okay, you edit the test cases. Kasi kapag if you will still use the previous test cases, hindi mo na makikita yung error. Okay? So halimbawa dyan, you have an ordering system. Yung checkout module, halimbawa, pag-click mo, for example, ay halimbawa ay zero balance ka na, okay, on your e-wallet, then it was able to, halimbawa, to purchase kahit you don't have balance. So, ibig sabihin, there's an error on that module. Okay, so you check that code, that small number of modules, nandoon po yung error. Okay? So, that's defect clustering. You targeted the small modules. Kumbaga, parang before you go to the wider view or broader view of your system, you look it at its smallest unit first. Okay? Iniisa-isa mo yung smallest components niya. Okay, we are now on our third. Ayan. Nasa patatlo na po na yung principle. So we have now here the pesticide paradox. Excuse me? So, sino pong gusto mag-volunteer na magbasa? Meron ba? Okay, sige, si Chloe. Chloe, kindly read the PowerPoint.
Sir, buong text po ba?
Oo, buo.
Wait lang, sir. Repetitive use of the same pesticide paradox. Repetitive use of the same pesticide mix to eradicate insects during farming will over time lead to the insect developing resistance to the pesticide, thereby ineffective or pesticide or insects. The same applies to software testing. If the same set of repetitive tests are conducted, the method will be useless for discovering new defects. To overcome this, the test cases need to be regularly reviewed and revised, adding new and different test cases to help find more defects. Testers cannot simply depend on existing test techniques. He must look out continually to improve the existing methods to make testing more effective. But even after all this sweat and hard work in testing, you can never claim your product is bug-free.
Okay, thank you, Chloe. Okay, ano po yung ibig sabihin natin with pesticide paradox? So, we have here a comparison para mas madali nating maintindihan. Okay, sabi dyan, commonly, kapag ang isang insekto daw or isang peste, okay, is ginamitan mo ng same pesticide ng paulit-ulit, through time, it will be able to have the resistance on those pesticide. Magiging immune okay, na siya doon sa effect ng pesticide. Kasi again, yun yung paulit-ulit na ginagamit. So, ganun din po yung concept of pesticide paradox. Wherein, if you will be using the same test cases ng paulit-ulit to test the system, kaya sabi dyan, okay, if the same set of repetitive tests are conducted, the method will be useless for discovering new defects. So, babalik tayo ngayon dito sa ating example kanina. Ito, okay. So, halimbawa, pagdating dito sa test case number 1, sabi dyan, trying to move the file when it is open. So, sabi natin, its expected output is dapat kapag hindi siya nag-paste, okay, hindi siya nag-paste sa folder B kasi nga naka-open, it is a pass. Pass yan kasi hindi nga siya nag-paste. Paano kung halimbawa, during our testing, the file was open, okay, nakabukas yung file, but it was able to be pasted or moved to the folder B. Nag-move kahit bukas yung file. So, ibig sabihin, that's a failed test case. So, ibig sabihin, there are problems and errors dun sa development. Sa code siya may problema. So, ano yung gagawin natin dyan? You need to inform your developer that, okay, developer, nagka-error po yung ating system. Kasi nakapag-paste po ako sa folder B kahit bukas yung file, kahit hindi naman dapat. Okay, so ang ginawa ni developer dyan, inayos niya, okay, finix niya yung code, binalik sa yung system, and you still use the same test case. Ito pa din yung ginamit mo. And if this is the same test case that you will be using, probably you won't be able to find new errors. So ano yung kailangan mong gawin? Kailangan mong i-edit yung lahat ng test cases na nagawa mo in order for you to find and discover new bugs. Ganun po yung concept of the pesticide paradox. Kaya sabi dun sa pesticide paradox, you need to review, revise, and add new different test cases. Commonly gagawin mo, i-execute mo ulit yung previous test case para malaman mo kung tama na ba, kung pass na ba. But that's the only thing that you can repeat it. That's the only time that you will be repeating it. Kapag nakita mo that okay na hindi siya na nagpe-paste, okay, the next few test cases that you will be doing, it should be reviewed, revised, and dapat may bago na. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin with the pesticide paradox. Sabi also dyan, you cannot depend on existing test cases. Okay? At the same time, kahit po yung ating testing ay wala na pong bugs by means of wala na tayong nakitang error, we cannot claim it that it is a complete system. Okay? Sabi dyan, even after all of this sweat and hard working in testing, you can never claim your product is bug-free. Bakit po? Because there are no 100% complete system. Kahit yung system mo wala ng error, kahit anong testing mo man yan, we cannot claim that our system is a 100% complete. Okay? Probably, with some of the maintenance, new patches sa system nyo, it will encounter still an error. Okay? So that's our third principle, which is the pesticide paradox. Okay? So let's move with our fourth principle, which is testing shows a presence of defects. Okay? Kindly read naman yung nasa slide, si Katilo. Mark? Andito ba si Katilo?
Malamig po dyan.
Katilo, andito ka ba? Mark? Wala. Sige. Si Bagting. Si Kenneth. Andito ba si Bagting?
Yes.
Okay, sige. Pakibasa naman. Sige, pakibasa ng slide.
Testing shows a presence of defects. Hence, testing's principle states that testing talks about the presence of defects and don't talk about the absence of defects, i.e., software testing reduce the probability of undiscovered defects remaining in the software, but even if no defects are found, it is not a proof of correctness. But what if you work extra hard, talking to taking all precautions and make your software product 99% bug free, and the software does not meet the needs and requirements of the clients?
Okay. Sino yon? Sino yung nagbasa?
Mark, sir.
Okay. So, okay. Okay, kaya pala sabi ko, parang hindi to boses ni
Katilo po.
Bagting. Sabi ko, parang hindi to si Bagting. Okay,
Sorry,
sige.
sir.
Thank you, Katilo. Ayan. So, again, just like what we have discussed doon sa previous, okay, principle, the fact that we are testing our system means that there are presence of defects. Even though, let's say, for example, before siya binigay, halimbawa, ng ating developer sa atin, sabi ng developer, okay, lahat ng functions dyan, okay na, gumagana na. Okay, but the question is, lahat ba ng possible na i-input natin dyan kapag tinanggap ng system ay gagana? Paano kung hindi? Ibig sabihin, there's still an error. Okay, example niyan. Okay, halimbawa, you have a calculator. Okay, yung calculator mo, tama naman, nag-input ka ng number. Nilagay mo 1 plus 1, lumabas 2. Pagdating, okay, it gets the job done. Ibig sabihin, nagagawa niya ng mag-calculate. Paano kung halimbawa, pagdating sa tester, yung field of or the field that should accept only numbers accept letters, characters. So, meron kayong validation error doon. So, ibig sabihin, kahit yung kanyang function which is to calculate was done, okay, nagagawa na, but it has validation error, meron pa rin tayong presence of defects. Kaya yun yung sinasabi natin na kapag yung atin pong system will undergo testing, kahit wala na po yung error sa mata ni developer, pwede pa din tayo makadiscover dyan ng undiscovered defects. Okay? Yun yung kailangan natin tandaan. Hindi po yan gusto lang hanapan ni tester yung system. Okay? Common, halimbawa, common jokes with that ay ano naman, si QA, hahanapan na naman ng mali yung system. Okay? Which is not. It is just their job. It is them doing their job. Okay, the fact that they are testing it, they are looking for the undiscovered defects. Hindi po yan hinahanapan ng mali. Okay, at the same time, paano kung halimbawa, sir, 99 bug free? Kasi 99 bug free, okay, lahat po ng possible test cases ay na-execute na. Okay, sabi dyan, and the software does not meet the needs and requirements of the clients, probably hindi po yan tatanggapin ng business. Okay? Example. So, if you will notice po, sa ating capstone, sa capstone po natin, we have the non-functional requirements. Though tayo po ay nasa undergrad, kasi yung mga nasa non-functional po, I think hindi siya ganun napapag-focusan during capstone defense. What do we mean by hindi masyadong napag-focusan? Kasi commonly yung question with capstone defense 2 or final defense is scenario-based wherein it pertains to the functionalities. Paano kung halimbawa, during your capstone proposal, nakalagay, okay, sa inyong documentation, nakalagay ay scalable. Okay, our system is scalable. Sabi nyo, scalable. By means of scalable, it can still work with the given number of users. Okay? Kumaga, sir, based sa aming documentation, yung aming system hindi babagal kahit we have 1,000 plus users. Okay? Pero kung halimbawa, in a real-world setup, sabi niyo sa documentation ng system niyo, okay, our system is scalable with a 1,000 users who use our system at the same time. Sabay-sabay na ginagamit yung system. And syempre, sabi ng business, okay, wow, ang ganda ng system. Because even 1,000 users ang gumagamit ng sabay-sabay, hindi naglalag yung system. If you will notice, its concern is not on the functionality na, but on the requirements, non-functional requirements. Iyon yung needs ng company. So kahit yung system mo ay okay na yung functions, but based on your promised performance, which is the scalability, hindi po yan nagawa, hindi po yan tatanggapin ng clients. Okay, yun po yung concept niya. So even though halimbawa, okay yung system, nagagawa naman lahat, pero hindi siya compatible with different OS as much as we promised to the documentation. Sabi natin, cross-platform, it can run on iOS, Android, Windows, but it only works on Windows lang. Hindi po yan tatanggapin ng system. It is also considered as an error. Okay? So, nilalagay din po natin yan sa ating test cases. Yung mga non-functional test cases. Okay? So, later on, example po tayo ng mga non-functional test cases na yan. Okay? We are nearing towards the end of our 7 principles. So, we have the 5th principle, which is absence of error fallacy. By means of fallacy, it is a lie. So, parang same lang siya ng concept with the previous discipline or principle. Fallacy means lie. Okay? Hindi po totoo na ang isang system ay walang error. Okay? Is it possible that software which is 99% bug-free is still unusable? So, ganun din po. Same concept. Kahit po ang system ay gumagana but it doesn't meet the requirements of the users, okay, hindi po yan gagamitin ng client. Okay, so you should check your capstone, okay, if nasusunod ba yung mga nakalagay sa inyong documentation. Pwedeng halimbawa, pwedeng maging activity natin yan, wherein kung halimbawa nakalagay yung test natin, the booting time of the system is only 5 seconds, pero it took you 1 minute to do to boot, okay, the system. So error na agad yan, okay, sa ating test cases. Okay, sabi dyan, this can be the case if the system is tested thoroughly for the wrong requirement. So you should first know the right requirements, both of the functional and non-functional. Okay? Software testing is not mere finding defects, but also to check that software addresses the business needs. So, yun lang yun. Okay? Based on your clients, ano ba yung kailangan nila? Okay? Halimbawa, your system, sabi nung client, we cannot handle 500 customers manually. Okay? And you said, okay, our system will help you manage those 500 customers daily efficiently. But based on your testing, hindi nyo ma-manage or hindi ma-manage ng system yung 500 users. Okay? So, hindi rin po yan tatanggapin ng ating client. Okay? The absence of error is fallacy. Finding and fixing defects does not help if the system build is unusable and does not fulfill the user's need and requirements. So, if you think, paulit-ulit lang tayo dun sa kanina pang concept, okay, that if we won't be able to fulfill what was written on our documentation, hindi po yan tatanggapin ng system, ay ng client. Okay, again, sa ating industry, may bayad po or binabayadan po talaga ang pagbili ng system kasi investment po yan ng company. And they won't avail or buy a system that do not fulfill the promises that it said or says on the documentation. Okay, again, although hindi siya error, not literal na nag-error yung system, but in terms of its performance, may error pa din yan. Okay? Next, we have the sixth discipline, which is the early testing. Sabi dyan, early testing should start as early as possible in the software development life cycle. So if you will notice po, yung testing natin, yan po ay laging kasama sa SDLC. Okay? We have the analysis. I think yung testing is before the deployment. Ano ibig sabihin? Before you actually deploy your system to your client, you should test it first. Okay? Some of the defects or any defects requires design phase, okay, captured in early stages. Okay? So, during testing, which is again the edge of SDLC, bakit mas preferred, okay, ng mga developers yung paggamit ng SDLC as their methodology or model? Because if we encountered error during our testing phase, halimbawa, nasa design phase yung error, okay, we can go back to that specific phase. Okay? During early stages, nandun yung error, you can go back to those phase. Okay? At the same time, early testing means much cheaper to fix a defect. Okay? Mas madali kasi or in a sense na mas konti yung expenses. Okay? If yung error nakita agad natin before the actual deployment. If you will remember our discussion last week, yung examples of one of the scenario wherein there are an errors in system, yung ating sa bank last time. So that's an error na na-discover during the deployment na. Or it was discovered and done on the user and yun ang nasa end user side. So, mas malaki po yung damage nun compared when we will be just adding another process or another stage before tayo mag-deploy ng system. Ano? So, again, mas cheaper po yan in this situation. Okay? It is recommended that you start finding the bug the moment the requirements are defined. So, you should have the documentations right in front of you or katabi mo or alam mo. Okay, when you know the requirements, you should be able to define the right and correct test cases. Okay, so from functionality testing, okay, from non-functionality testing, okay, you will be able to devise, okay, the right and the correct test cases. Kasi nga, babalik tayo doon sa first test cases, exhaustive is not possible. Okay, so you should know ano yung ipa-prioritize. And you can use the requirements. Okay? And for the last, okay, for the last principle, sabi dyan, testing is a context dependent. So, basically means that the way you test an e-commerce site will be different from the way you test a commercial of the shelf application. Ibig sabihin lang yan, when you are testing another system or application, yung test cases that you used on the previous system is not applicable na. Ano, halimbawa dyan, nag-test ka ng e-commerce na application, yung test cases na ginamit mo dito ay hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin or hindi na siya applicable with a commercial off-the-shelf application. Okay? Sabi dyan, it should be different from the way you test the previous one, which is the e-commerce site. Okay? All developed software are not identical. Kaya kailangan with each of the different applications that you will be testing, you have a different approach. Okay? You might use a different approach, methodologies, techniques. Okay? For instance, testing any point of sale systems at retail store will be different than testing an ATM machine. Basically po, okay, bawal, hindi naman siya bawal, but it is not advisable, okay, that all of the test cases that you have done, kahit pa halimbawa parehong e-commerce site yung iyong itetest, okay, hindi po advisable that you will still use the same test cases. What you need to do is you need to read, Okay, the requirements of the new e-commerce site and devise the right test cases. Okay? And sabi dyan, for the last slide, okay, principles are just for reference. I will not use them in practice. Baka sabihin nyo, ay, ang sir, tinulong pa yung 7 principles, pagdating naman namin sa trabaho, hindi naman namin yan gagawin kasi baka nakalimutan na namin. Kasi sabi dito, that's very untrue because these test principles will help you create an effective test strategy and draft error catching test cases. Hindi nyo naman siya kailangan i-memorize. You don't need to memorize it. Because by experience, okay, pwede sa simula, okay, sabihin natin that you should memorize it. Okay, pero kapag naman nasa industry na tayo, hindi naman kayo pagbabawalan gumamit ng resources. Unlike with the schools, like say halimbawa during exam, bawal tumingin ng notes. Pero pagdating sa work, basically you can use the references. Okay, for the guide, but through your experiences that you continuously practice this skill, for example, sabi dyan, experienced testers have internalized this process to a level that they apply them even without thinking. So it will come out naturally in a sense that you will not notice that you are executing it unconsciously. Okay. Nagagawa ko na pala yung principle number 6. Nagagawa ko na pala yung pesticide paradox. I'm creating new test cases for each of the new system that I will be testing. So, in that sense, nagagawa mo na yung principles nang hindi mo namamalayan. Again, you do not need to execute it ng sequentially. Ibig sabihin ng sunod-sunod ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Apply the principles that will be helpful for you. Kahit yung number 7 pa yan. Okay? Because again, it will come with your experience. Okay? Again, it is not just for reference. Okay? It is for you to practice it. It is not just a concept. It is not just a written topic. Okay? It is something that you can apply on your job or apply on the way you test systems. Okay? And that's the end of our, I think this is chapter 1.3 of our chapter 1. Questions? Anyone? Ayan. Yan. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, ayan, tulad ng sabi ko, ay go back with your capstone document. Tingnan. Kapag gagawa ng test cases, tingnan po kung na-achieve and look for each of the principles rather, whether nako-covered ba yan. Okay? Pwedeng kayo na mismo yung magte-test ng system or kung kayo man yung developer, it can be your group mate. Okay, your group mates that will be testing your system. Again po, take note that you should not only test its functionalities, its functional requirements, but also the non-functional requirements based on your documentation. Okay? Okay, can you give me itong reaction na to see if you still have questions? Ayan. Okay. Yes, Kenneth, may question ka ba?
Sir, may attendance.
Mamaya, may attendance after ng discussion. May isa pa tayong topic. Hindi pa tayo tapos. Ayan, okay? Yes, Kirby?
Sir, possible pa po kayang maggawa ng alterations po sa capstone paper?
What do you mean by alteration? Di babaguhin ka sa document?
Ano po, pagdating po sa mga tools na gagamitin sa mga programming languages po.
Siguro you should consult the panelists. Okay pwede po, naman siguro, pero baka kailangan nyo siyang ipagpaalam.
Okay po.
Ayan, para sure lang din. Okay? So let's move with the next PowerPoint. So for a while, open ko lang. Ayan. Okay, so since again, we're moving to a new topic na, again, if you have any questions, so diretso na natin so that we can all rest early. Ano, I know medyo hapon na kasi yung ating discussion and alam kong medyo nakakatabad na talagang magklase ng ganitong oras. Ano? So again, if you have any questions, so raise it. Okay, so that again, we can pause and explain it for you. Okay? So, okay, so before tayo mag-move on to this slide, nabanggit na yung introduction or overview nito doon sa ating previous PowerPoint. Di ba nabanggit na doon the SDLC, the Software Development Life Cycle. So since it was mentioned, ibig sabihin, we will now be going to this chapter 1.4, which is the V model and the STLC. Okay? So sir, ano po ba yung V model? What is a V model? So V model is a highly disciplined SDLC model. So ibig sabihin, it is based or it was based on the SDLC methodology. Okay, which there is a testing phase parallel to each of the development phase. So ibig sabihin po, yung mga phases natin sa SDLC, like say for example, the analysis, okay, the design, we have a specific testing for each of those phases. Okay? Also, this is an extension of the waterfall model in which testing is done on each stage parallel with the development in a sequential way. Ibig sabihin, the V model is an extension. Ibig sabihin, its diagram or the way we will be seeing it later is naka-sequential yung approach. Di ba yung waterfall natin is linear yung approach. When say linear, halimbawa, pababa lang siya. Okay, so ganun din with our V model. Its approach is sequential, ibig sabihin linear. Okay, and take note that it is again a parallel stage. Parallel siya with our SDLC. Okay, it is known also as the validation or verification model. Okay, so let's first have the key software terms in terms of this V model and SDLC. So since the V model was based on SDLC, so definitely we should know what is a SDLC first. And I believe that all of us here, since we reached our first year, knows what is the definition of the SDLC. Okay? Aside from the fact that it is a high quality software wherein it is most of the methodology carried out by our developers. Okay? Para po ma-recall, yan po ang spiral yung ating methodology. Okay? Now, if you will notice, si SDLC naging STLC. Napalitan yung D ng T. Is it because yung development, papalitan natin siya ng testing. So, it will be software testing life cycle. Okay, wherein it consists of a series of activities carried out by the tester methodology to test your software product. So ano pong methodology yan? Dito po yung methodology that concerns or involves our SDLC methodology. Halimbawa, Agile. Okay? Ibig sabihin, if we are using Agile methodology, our SDLC will be parallel to Agile. For each of the phases of the Agile methodology, there are corresponding testing phases in our software testing life cycle. Okay? Other example of our methodology is the waterfall. Okay? Again, it is a sequential model divided into different phases. But sabi dyan, testing phase in waterfall starts only after implementation of the system is done. Kumbaga parang if we will be thinking of it, one of the disadvantage kasi ng waterfall is that if they encountered an error, Okay, nagkaroon tayo ng error, we have no choice to move sa sunod na stage kahit tayo ay may error. Again po, we should follow what was written on the development documentation. Kung nakalagay, sinabi ng company sa inyo, halimbawa, okay, you use this waterfall. Wala po kayong choice kundi gamitin yung waterfall because again, ayaw naman po nating gumawa ng trabaho na hindi tayo mababayadan. Okay? Kahit halimbawa, okay, gusto ni client naka-waterfall, ay hindi niya alam na kapag ito ay halimbawa ay hindi sinunod natin, nagka-error yung system, it would be much costlier for them. Hindi nila alam. Pero since ito yung binigay sa atin, okay, ayoko namang magawa ng isang work that hindi ako babayadan if I will be doing the agile instead. Ano? So, yun po yung nagiging downside of the waterfall model. Again, linear po kasi yung approach dyan. Okay? So, these are the some of the common terms in terms of software engineering. But then again, hindi naman po natin pinagbabawalan yung mga soft developers to use still waterfall model. If you still, this is applicable with your system development, so why not use of it? But then again, there are reasons kung bakit SDLC yung ginagamit po ng ating mga software developers. Okay? Ayan. Sabi dyan, suppose you are assigned to a task to develop a custom software for a client. Now, irrespective of your technical background, try and make an educated guess about the sequence of steps you will follow to achieve the task. Ang sabi lang dyan, halimbawa, ay, okay, binigyan ka ng work ng client mo, okay, na mag-test, okay, or na maggawa ng isang system. Halimbawa, sabi ko, okay, halimbawa, Chloe, gawa ka ng system. Okay, okay, ano yung mga first thing that you should do? What are the phases that you should accomplish first? Ano yung magiging guide natin? Ano yung magiging methodology or model natin? E di doon pa rin papasok yung SDLC or yung mga methodology natin. Kasi yun po yung magiging guide natin on the sequence of steps para makapagawa po tayo ng custom software. So, halimbawa, nakalagay dito. Sabi dun sa ating example sa picture, ang una daw niyang ginawa is in-identify yung tech stack. Yung tech stack, sabi dyan, Java, PHP, the database, which is, I think, it is on the design phase. Nasa design phase na to, I think. Wherein you should know the design of your system. Ano yung gagamitin na database, ano yung gagamitin na mong programming language, okay? Ano yung gagamitin mo halimbawa ay tawag dito, APIs and etc. Tapos sabi dito, test the software to verify that is built as per as the specifications given by the client. So ito naman ang sabi, i-test na daw agad. O, sabi nito, nasa testing na tayo, i-test mo daw or nasa testing phase. Okay? Sabi doon, actually code the software. So actually code the software, yan po ay nasa implementation wherein we actually code our system. Nasa implementation to. Okay? Tapos, itong last, gather as much as information as possible about the details and specifications of the desired software from the client. So, nasang phase to? Nasa analysis. I think nasa analysis to sa Agile, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so if you will notice, okay, each of the response on this example ay iba-iba yung phases na kinonsider. Yung isa, sabi, mag-design muna daw tayo ng gagamitin. Yung isa, i-test agad natin. Yung isa, i-code agad. Yung isa naman, sabi, mag-analyze and kumuha muna ng data from the client. So, which is, if we will be using SDLC like Agile, ano ba dapat yung mauuna? Anyone? I-type na lang yung sagot sa in-call messages. Halimbawa, SDLC Agile, ano yung dapat una natin gawin before we move sa pag-develop? I-type na lang po yung sagot sa in-call messages. So, given with this example, ano dapat yung unang mauuna dito? Is it the design, the testing, the implementation, or the analysis? Yes, sino yun? Sabi ni Hannah, analysis. How about the others? Analysis, sabi ni Ryan. Okay. Agree ba yung iba or may ibang answers yung iba? Okay, I think agree naman tayo lahat that it should start first on the analysis. So, ibig sabihin yun yung first sequence natin. We should analyze and gather information from our clients. Okay? Thank you for your answers. So, continuing, sabi dyan, the correct sequence is, which is basically tama yung sabi nyo, requirement gathering stage. Kuha kayo ng data from your client. Gather as much as information. Next, you have the design stage. So, tama tayo kanina. Nasa design stage yung tech stack natin. Ano yung tamang PL, programming language? What will be its database? Okay, and other tech stack na pwede nating gamitin. After that, okay, let's move with the build stage or implementation. Ibig sabihin ng implementation, ikino-code mo na mismo yung software. Okay? Yung test stage natin, ito naman, itinatest naman natin yung ating system. And after series of testing, if all of the test cases will be passed, okay, papasa, edi proceed tayo sa deployment stage, which is the deployment of the application in respective environment or ipag-deploy natin sa ating clients. Okay? So, yun po yung correct sequence. I think, pinapractice naman natin yan and nakalagay sa ating documentation. Okay? Ito yung problem with the waterfall. Ayan. So, kindly pakiread nga po nung nasa slide si Paul.
Sir, parang si Kenneth Tatagos sumugpa siya.
Okay,
Parang
sige,
inaantok daw po eh.
Sige, si Bagting muna. Hindi siya naka-recite kanina.
Naku sir, naligo ako sir.
Sige, ikaw muna.
Problem with the waterfall method. Model pal. As you may observe,
Nawala ka. Nasaan ka na?
Sir, minus na yan.
as you may observe, the testing in the model the model starts only after implementation is done. But if you are working in the large project where the systems are complex, it's easy to miss out the key details in the requirement space itself. In such cases, an entirely wrong product will be delivered to the client, and and you might have to start afresh with the project or if you manage to note the requirements correctly, but make serious mistakes in design and architecture of your software. You will have to redesign the entire software to correct the error. Assessments of thousands of projects have shown that defects introduced during requirements and design make up close to half of the total number of defects.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Kenneth. Mukhang pinapatawa ka ng mga kaklase mo. Ayan, okay. So, again,
Dalawa lang, sir.
sino? Si Chloe at saka si Katilo.
Sir,
Ayan.
parang,
Sino pa, sir?
parang
nadamay
inaantok
pa ako.
pa, sir.
Okay, okay, going back, sabi dito, ito yung problem natin with the waterfall. So, let's highlight, okay, some of the key details on this PowerPoint or this slide. Sabi dito, in such cases, kapag daw nagkaroon tayo ng isang wrong phase dito sa isang waterfall model, the possible is that we need to redesign the full entire software. So, yun po yung downside kasi ng ating waterfall. Ayan, you have to redesign the entire software to correct the error. So, halimbawa, okay, sabi kasi dyan, yung testing daw is gagawin mo pa after the coding or the implementation. Ito. Okay, so since sabi natin, okay, what was written as your methodology, it is the thing that you should follow. So, wala kayong choice kundi sundin yung waterfall methodology. So, halimbawa, during your testing, nakita mo, ay okay, may error yung system. Nagka-error yung system. But since this is a waterfall, you have no choice to move to the next phase, which is the deployment. Kasi nga, linear yung kanyang approach. Wherein, kapag sana SDLC, you can go back, pwede ka munang bumalik dito para i-fix yung error. But since this is a waterfall, expect natin that there will be an error in testing, error in deployment, and even error in maintenance. So ano yung kailangan natin gawin to fix the problem? You should go back sa simula, which is the requirements. Kaya sabi dyan, you need to redesign the entire software. Paano kung halimbawa yung error pala nasa design, nandito? So, inulit mo pa yung requirements, inulit mo pa yung analysis, inulit mo pa yung design before you fix the actual problem. Okay, so that's the problem with the waterfall model. Wherein kung sana ang ginamit natin is SDLC, nagkaroon tayo ng error with the coding, sana nakabalik tayo agad with the design phase. Okay, kaya sabi dyan also, okay, defects introduced during requirements and design, okay, phases make up close to half of the total number of defects. Kung halimbawa yung error mo nasa design and the requirements, halimbawa nasa design, nandito, may error. So expect mo that the remaining 4, itong 4 na to, error na yan, and basically that's half of your methodology. Okay, close to half of the total number of defects. Lahat yan magkaka-error. So that's the downside of the waterfall model. Okay, but then again, make sure that you should know how to pick the right methodology with your development. Ano? Okay? Now, we have here, ano yung solution? Sabi dyan, solution. So, to solve that, okay, we could use, okay, or we can use the V model. So, ito na yung V model nating sinasabi na parallel yung phase and testing phases. Okay, so if you will notice, itong side na to, itong left side, yung left side are the SDLC phases. Diba? We have the analysis, the design, and the decoding or the implementation. Ayan yung mismong phases ng SDLC. And nakaparallel yan with the testing phases, which is itong nasa left. Okay, ito naman yung STLC natin. Ano pong ibig sabihin yan? Ibig sabihin yan, for every requirement analysis natin sa ating SDLC, meron na tayong ginagawang testing, which is the system testing. Okay, nakaparallel na yan, wherein for each of the phases, nagtetest na agad tayo. Okay? Again, take note that this SDLC is on the developer side and this SDLC is nasa QA. Ayan. So, hindi po iisang tao ang gumagawa ng dalawa. But again, it is parallel to each other. Okay? During the development of the design phases, whether that's a high or low level, okay, you also have a corresponding testing. Okay? Sa high-level design, okay, you are testing the integration testing. Whether you are checking whether tama bang na-integrate yung API. So, halimbawa, do we able to connect the gateway, e-wallet gateway to our system? Okay, yung low-level design, how about the functions, the unit testing? How about its functions? How about its classes? Okay, so yun po yung tinetest natin with unit testing. So if you will notice, again, nakaparallel siya dun sa ating design phase. And bound po dyan sa gitna is yung coding. Wherein, para ma-fix po yung errors in this testing, kinocode natin yan sa ating SDLC. Okay? Yung ating left side, yung SDLC, it is serves as the way we verify, okay, or verification. Ibig sabihin, are we doing it right? Tama ba yung process na ginagawa natin? Based on our phases methodology, tama ba? Are we doing it right? So that's how we verify it. On the other hand, yung left side natin, it is used for validation. Again, it's verification sa SDLC. Si SDLC is for the validation. When we say validation, are we building the right product? Okay, based on the requirements of the users that we are trying to prove by testing, okay, based on the requirements ng ating system, ng clients, na pinapatunayan natin na gagawa natin through testing, are we building the right product? Kasi basically, kapag lahat po ng testing is naipasa, okay, during the testing phase, ibig sabihin, it is aligned to what the client needs. That's the right product. You validated the product. Okay? So, sa madaling sabi, bine-verify mo ang system sa development side and you validate it on the testing phases. Okay? So, basically, that's the explanation for that. Okay? For the continuation, okay, andyan pa ba kayo? Kindly give me this surprised ba to? Okay, this surprise reaction. Ayan. Okay. So the solution dyan, apart from the V model, there are iterative development models where development is carried in phases. So example nga dyan yung ating tinatawag na mga application dev, rapid app development, and the agile development. So again po, this methodology is under SDLC. Okay? So apart from the V model, we can also use this methodology. Okay? So for the conclusion, so this is just for SDLC. Ano man ba tayong SDLC? Ayan. So there are numerous development life cycle models and we should be able to select, okay, the right model based on the aims and goals of the project. So though kanina meron tayong downside of the waterfall, hindi po ibig sabihin na hindi mo na siya gagamitin, that you will remove it from your choices. If this water model fits to the development of the system, so why not use of it? Okay? Testing is not a standalone activity. It has to adapt the development model of the chosen project. Okay? Tulad ng sabi natin, hindi pwedeng basta-basta ka na magte-test. Follow the methodology. Okay? In any model, testing should be performed in all levels, right from the requirements until maintenance. Kaya po dun sa ating model, whether that's a waterfall or SDLC or agile, laging yung last phase natin is the maintenance phase. Because during maintenance, we can also encounter errors from this. Okay? So malaking factor pa din yung maintenance phase sa ating development. Okay, so that's for our SDLC and V model. Any questions so far? Can you send me this thumbs down if wala po tayong questions? Ayan. Okay. Now, we will be going with our SDLC naman. Again, sabi natin kanina, this is software testing life cycle. Okay, so these are the activities conducted during testing process to ensure software quality, which should be met. Okay, involves verification and validation activities. Okay, again, this is not just a single isolated activity such as testing. So I want you to look at this diagram. Okay? Now, in terms of SDLC, okay, meron din tayong tinatawag na verification testings and validation testings. Yung ating verification testings, okay, am I building the product right? So, pwede nating isipin dito, yung mga functions ba niya is nagagawa ba niya? Okay? Functionalities. Ibig sabihin, when we are able to do its functionalities and we are able to pass, okay, the functionalities of the system, ibig sabihin, okay, we built the product right. Tama natin siyang ginawa because nagawa natin yung dapat niyang gawin. So that's verification testing. If you will notice, yung mga testing natin dito is yung mga unit testing, integration testing, automated testing, which concerns dun sa mismong mga codes natin or sa mismong system. sa build ng system natin. Integration testing, if integrated ba yung mga modules, automated testing yung mga automation tools na ginagamit, unit testing yung mga codes natin, smallest units of codes, the functions, the classes. So, ibig sabihin, that's functional requirements. While, pagdating sa validation, testing, or the way we validate, am I building the right product? Okay, ito ba yung kailangan ng client company? And it will pertain to the non-functional naman. Okay? Non-functional. If you will notice, yung testing natin dito, yung mga performance testings. Customer acceptance test. Okay? Usability test or usability testing. Ibig sabihin, it will test the performance of our system. So, it covers or concerns the non-functional, which means we are validating whether that's the right product. Okay? Magkaiba po yung tama ba nating nagawa yung ating system and kung ito ba yung hinihingi and ito ba yung tamang product. Okay? Tamang nagawa, ito ba yung tamang product. Okay? Kasi pwedeng tama mo siyang nagawa pero hindi yung tamang product for the client. Okay? Pwedeng yun yung tamang system for them but hindi mo siya binild ng tama. Okay? So yun po yung ating verification and validation testing. Okay? So ito yung phases natin with STLC. So again, sabi dyan kanina, yung kanyang appearance or structure is naka-waterfall din. So if you will notice yan po ay linear din. So siya yung other side of the V model if inyong nare-recall doon sa previous slides. Okay? Same lang siya. Naka-mirror lang din yan with our SDLC. Requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, environment setup, test execution, and test cycle closure. Okay? Let's have the next slide. So, kindly pa rin naman ang nasa slide si Chester. Andito ba si Chester? Chester, andito ka ba? Okay, wala yata. How about Cristobal? Hello, andito ba si Cristobal? Okay, wala. So let's have si Micaela. Si Micaela na lang.
Sir, paulit po ng tanong.
Pabasa lang naman ng PowerPoint.
Okay po. Mahina po kasi internet. What is entry and exit criteria in STLC? Entry criteria gives the prerequisite items that must be completed before testing can begin. Exit criteria defines the items that must be completed before testing can be concluded. You have entry and exit criteria for all levels in the software testing life cycle or STLC. In an ideal world, you will not enter the next stage until the exit criteria for the previous stage is met. But practically, this is not always possible.
Okay, so thank you, Micaela. Okay, so dito, sabi dyan, what is the entry and exit criteria in STLC? So madaling sabi dyan, ano ba yung kailangan nating ma-meet para makapag-proceed tayo in doing the STLC phases and bago natin siya ma-conclude or bago natin siya tapusin. So para lang siyang halimbawa, requirements sa work. Okay, di ba halimbawa, before you go to work, there are some requirements that you need to submit. Okay, para lang makapag-start ka. So, those requirements at the beginning, yun po yung mga entry criteria natin. Okay, kaya nga po siya entry. Okay, yan. Wait lang. Ayan. Sabi dyan, okay, items that must be completed before testing can begin. That's the entry criteria. Next, after you met, okay, or you submitted all of the entry criteria, you can proceed in the testing phases, and after that, definitely you will have an output, and those outputs should be compiled, okay, and to be submitted para magkaroon kayo ng exit criteria. So those are the items that must be completed ito before testing can be concluded or before nyo tapusin yung testing nyo na ginawa. Okay, so sa madaling sabi, nag-test ka, syempre may records ka dyan, those records should be completed. If requirements, halimbawa before you conclude your testing, kailangan all of the test cases was passed or pasado, so hindi ka pwedeng mag-conclude ng testing phase or ng testing mo if may mga failed test cases ka pa. So yun po yung ibig sabihin ng exit criteria. Sabi dyan, though it is not practically always possible na ito talaga yung nagiging practice, but it is siguro ito yung isa sa mga ways or approach that we are doing para maging at least systematic yung the way we are testing our software or system. Okay, because basically, sabi dyan, sa ideal world, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa next step ng development if wala kang exit criteria. Okay? Kumaga parang okay, kapag hindi ka nakapag-submit, hindi ka tutuloy sa sunod na stage. Para lang halimbawa, if hindi mo napasa yung subject mo for this project for this subject, hindi ka tutuloy sa kanyang prerequisite subject. Okay? So, ganun yung concept niya. Okay? So, we have here the requirement phase testing. So, ito na yung mga testing or phases natin sa STLC. So, yung requirement phase testing natin ay kapareho lang po yun ng requirement analysis. So, dito kumukuha ka lang din dyan ng requirements from your clients. Okay? Sabi dyan from requirements, okay, pinag-aaralan po yan ng ating mga QA, and from that requirements, doon tayo nakapag-identify ng testable requirements. Okay, doon na tayo nagkakaroon ng idea ano yung mga pwede nating i-test. Okay, sabi pala nung ating client, gusto niya pala, halimbawa, yung ating, for example, yung ating system ay gumagana din with iOS. So, ibig sabihin, yung requirements based on this phase is compatibility. So, pwedeng yung ating maging test, okay, test cases, ay pwedeng maging about compatibility testing. Okay? In that cases, we are able to identify the testable requirements. Okay? Requirements could be either functional or non-functional. So, we will be able to have the idea what are the test cases that we should create, whether it's functional or non-functional. Okay? Sabi din dyan, automation feasibility for testing project is also done on this stage. So basically, ganun po yung nangyayari with our requirement phase testing. With the requirements that we gathered, it will be studied by the team, by the QA, and after that, ang gagawin dyan, they will be creating or identifying the testable cases or requirements na pwedeng gaming basihan in creating test cases. Okay? So, what are the benefits of the software testing, particular in the requirements phase? Ano ba yung mga activities dyan or yung mga job dyan? Sabi dyan, you need to identify the test to be performed. You need to gather details about testing priorities, requirement traceability matrix, which is this example. Ayan, ito yung ating RTM. Okay, identify test environment where testing is supposed to be carried out, and automation feasibility analysis. And ito yung deliverables. Requirement traceability matrix, automation feasibility. If you will notice, we have here this RTM. Okay, ito po ay matrix, where if you will notice, andito yung required description or the functionalities. We have here the requirement number rather. We have here the test case ID. Ang ibig sabihin po niyan, okay, wait lang, remove natin. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, halimbawa, For our requirement number 345, which is for ticket creation, we have a 7 test cases just for this function. Imagine, okay, isa pa lang yung functionalities, meron na tayong 7 test cases. Ano yung status ng requirement 345? Si 4, 5, 6, 7 passed na, pero yung ating test case number 6 ay fail and hindi natin maparan or no-run si test case number 7. So this is the requirement traceability matrix where we are able to track, okay, each of the test cases that was done on each of the requirement description. Okay, so if you have many test cases or several test cases, so you must have this RTM. Ano, kasi kung halimbawa you will be just browsing these test cases, ito yung mga test cases mo na madami, it would be harder for you to look, ano ba yung mga test cases for this function? Okay? Ano ba yung mga test cases for searching a ticket? Okay, based on matrix, yun pala yung test cases 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and that's one of the output or deliverables sa ating requirement phase testing. Okay, now let's move with the next. We have the test planning. So after the requirement phase, mag-move naman tayo sa test planning. So yung test planning is basically, ite-test mo na yung ating test cases. Before that pala rather, magpaplano muna kayo together with your senior QA manager, ano ba yung tamang test plan strategy? You need also to consider the efforts and cost estimation. Again, tulad ng sabi natin, testing also requires spending. Binabayadan po yung mga tester na yan. May mga sahod yan. So you should know or we should know how much this testing would consume, particular the time it will be executed, and magkano ba yung magiging cost niya. Kaya before you proceed at the actual test cases, the execution of it, kailangan nyo muna yung pagplanuhan. Ano po yung mga considerations? You should consider the test environment. Ano yung tools na gagamitin? Okay, what are the types of testing that we will be using? Okay, do we need to do unit testing? Do we need to execute smoke testing? And so on and so forth. Ano yung limitations of the testing? Okay, ano yung mga testing that we should consider should execute first? Okay, and the testing schedule. When will be the testing will be conducted? Even the schedule. Okay, okay. Kailangan ba yung testing schedule every, let's say, a month? Okay, or once a month? Okay, yun po yung testing schedule. And test plan gets prepared and finalized in the same phase. So dito, pina-finalize nyo na ano ba yung ating testing plan. Okay? So, ito yung ating gagawin dyan. Okay? Activities. Okay? Plan, strategy. You need to identify the tool, the test effort, the resource planning, and the training requirement. And ano yung ating deliverable or output? We have the test plan strategy document and effort estimation document. So, this is an example of a deliverable sa testing phase. Testing planning phase. So we have the number, the module name, ito po yung each of the module that holds the functionalities, and we have the applicable roles. Ibig sabihin, who are the roles that can access this module, and ano yung kaya nilang gawin with our system. And we can identify the risk or the weight of them. Okay? And this is an example of our deliverables. Based on this, how can we design the right testing tool, testing execution techniques. Okay, basically ano yung tamang plan natin na gagawin. Okay, example, halimbawa, it was finalized, it was approved by your senior QA manager together with your developer and everyone on the team that should have the approval, even the business or the client. We can now move on to the next test, our test phase, which is the test case development phase. Dito na yung part na tayo po ay maggagawa na ng mga test cases. Okay? So dito, okay, involves the creation, verification, and the work of test cases and test case after the test plan is ready. Kumbaga, ibig sabihin lang po niyan, okay, approve na yung mga gagamitin, pwede na tayo magawa ng mga test case scenario. Okay? Sabi dyan, initially, test data is identified, then created, reviewed, and then reworked based on preconditions. So, ano po yung preconditions na sinasabi dyan? Yung preconditions is yung ating pwedeng initial condition of the system before we test it. Okay? So, these are the activities: create test cases, reviewed baseline test cases and scripts, and create test data. Deliverables, we have the test cases or the scripts and the test data, which is basically this table. Ito yung table na yan. Medyo hindi lang kita, but for each of the entry in these test cases that we have, nandun po yung mga kailangan nating gawin. Take note that during this test case development phase, wala pa po tayo dyang actual output. Kumbaga ito po ay blank pa. Kasi basically, nagkikreate ka pa lang dyan ng test cases. So wala pa yan. Ang tanging meron ka lang dun sa table is you have the action. Ano yung gagawin mo with the system? Ano yung input? Ano yung ilalagay mo? And ano yung expected output mo? When we say expected output, ano yung dapat mangyayari? So sabi dito sa first entry, ano yung action sa first test case? You launch the application. Binuksan mo yung application. Ano yung input mo doon? Basically, your input is the URL of the application. Okay, ito. Kaya nga po link po yung nakalagay. Ano yung expected output? Siyempre, dahil you launch the application, ang expected output mo is that you will see the Facebook home. Ito. So, that's your first test case. Proceed to the second. Okay, lumabas na yung Facebook. Okay, if you are not logged in with your Facebook, so definitely hindi home yung lalabas. Paano kung halimbawa you're not logged in? So definitely the first module that you will show or pop up with you or for you is the login page. So you have the second test case. Yung action na gagawin mo is you need to enter invalid. Ayan, invalid email and password and hit login button. So, yung una mong gagawin para matry mo yung login function ng system is paano kung maglalagay ako ng invalid username and invalid password. And that's your input. Okay? Email ID invalid at xyz.com and yung password. Halimbawa, paano siya, sir, naging invalid? Pwedeng yung password mo and your email is not saved or registered with the Facebook. Pwedeng hindi naman siya pinang-register. Hindi siya pinang-sign in. So basically, walang account yung credentials and username na iyon. So since hindi siya recorded and registered, ano yung ating expected output? Our expected output, sabi dyan, the invalid address or phone number that you've entered doesn't match any account sign up for an account. So, kailangan may magpa-pop up dyan that halimbawa, your credentials is not recorded or hindi dapat siya magla-login. Okay? Dapat at least may inform yung user that, okay, this account is not saved, it is not signed in. Okay? So, yun yung test cases mo. And, kapag sinabi po natin that we put invalid data, okay, halimbawa sinabi ko, okay, okay, Chloe, mag-input ka nga ng invalid data sa test cases number 2 or sa test case number 2. Okay, pag sinabing invalid data, ibig sabihin po niyan, okay, if it resulted to the expected or not resulted to the expected output. Kapag po halimbawa yung ating output is hindi yung expected natin, it is called invalid data. Okay, tulad ng ating example, hindi nakasave, okay, yung username and password, hindi tumuloy sa login. So yung details that we have inputted, the wrong email and password is considered as invalid data. But then again, hindi po ibig sabihin na invalid yung ating data ay failed na po ang test cases. Okay? Halimbawa, sa test case, naglagay ka ng invalid. So ang ating expected output ay hindi ka papasok sa login. Okay? Though you inputted invalid data, pero hindi ka tumuloy sa login, so that test cases is still considered as a pass to one. Sir, paano po siya magiging failed na test case? Magiging failed po yan kung halimbawa, even though we have invalid password and username, nakapag-login pa din tayo. Doon pa rin po siya mag-fail. But then again, even though invalid ito, and hindi siya tumuloy and it resulted to the expected output, then therefore it's still a pass test case. Okay? So basically, lahat po ng possible nating maisip, okay, na test cases ay gagawin po natin dyan. But take note, one of the principles that we have, exhaustive testing is not possible. Hindi lahat ng maiisip mo ay ilalagay mo. You should consider the severity of its risk. Again, and in consideration with the non-functional and functional requirements. Okay, so medyo madami kasi kailangan mo pa rin talagang i-analyze ano yung gagawin mong test cases. Okay, so konting-konti na lang patapos na tayo. Okay, next, test environment setup. Okay, pakibasa nga ako ng PowerPoint, si Cristobal. Dito ba si Cristobal? Wala. Sige. Si Benny na lang.
Pero ano audible, sir?
Parinig ka naman.
Test environment setup. Test environment setup decides the software and hardware conditions under which a work product is tested. It is one of the critical aspects of the testing process and can be done in parallel with the test case development phase. Testing may not be involved in this activity if the development learned provides the test environment. The bus team is required to do readiness check of the given environment.
Okay, thank you, Benny. So next, okay, phase in terms of the STLC we have is the test environment setup. By means of environment, ano ba yung, let's say, environment or ano ba yung technology, ano ba yung software components, what are the hardware components that we should have para makapag-identify tayo or makapag-test po tayo ng system. Sabi dito, test team may not be involved in this activity. Okay. Bakit kaya? Anyone? Basahin po yung nasa PowerPoint. In test environment setup, yes, Curl?
Wala po, napindot lang.
Napindot lang?
Apo, parang babato lang po eh.
Talaga ba?
Sige sir, basahin ko na yan.
Hindi, okay na. Okay, question. Ano yung question natin? Sabi sa test environment setup, kahit daw hindi na maging involved yung mga tester natin or test team, bakit kaya? In terms of test environment setup, so bakit sabi dyan, our test team may not be involved? Anyone? Anyone? Meron ba? Bakit sabi dyan, kahit hindi na maging involved yung test team sa pag-identify ng test environment? Ano ba yung meron sa test environment setup? Meron ba? If nahihiyang sumagot, kahit sa ating in-call messages na lang again. Okay. So, bakit kaya? Anyone? Kahit any idea? Bakit hindi na kahit maging involved? Okay, meron ba? Anyone who wants to volunteer? Sabi dyan, okay. Decides the software and hardware conditions under which a work product is tested. So kapag daw nasa test environment setup tayo, okay, pinagdidesisyonan natin ano ba yung software conditions, ano ba yung mga software na kailangan para po matest natin yung system. Okay. Pero bakit dito hindi natin pwede or bakit optional? Yes, sino yon? Test team po siguro ay nakafocus sa quality assurance. Thank you, Jo Marie, which is true. Definitely. Kasi yung focus lang naman ng mga tester or test team is to just test the system. Okay. Bakit hindi po na or bakit we have the option to be not involved? Kasi for example, ganito. Kasi nga yung job lang ng ating test team is to just test the system. Hindi po nila or they don't have the authority na magpasya saang software, halimbawa anong OS yung kailangan para mapagana natin yung isang system. Kumbaga na say for example, yung developers po yung nakakaalam saang tamang hardware conditions siya gagana. Halimbawa, si developer nag-develop sa isang Windows operating system with halimbawa ay 1 terabyte RAM. Magaganon, halimbawa yung hardware conditions. So that's the environment. Okay? Windows operating system with a 1 terabyte RAM. So that's the environment na kailangan para makapag-test yung test team. Sino po ang nagbigay ng test environment? Di yung developers, the development team. Kaya sabi dyan, if the development team provide the test environment. Ganun lang po yung reasoning niyan. Halimbawa, ako yung developer. Sabi ko, okay, this system will operate efficiently when you will be using Windows OS with, halimbawa, with this CPU processor. Okay? Ibibigay mo lang yung test environment with the test team and they should, yung kailangan naman nilang gawin is dapat yung magiging test, okay, testing device nila is same nung testing environment na binigay ng developers or ng development team. Okay? Kaya po kadalasan yung test environment, sila po yung nagbibigay sa test team. Okay? But then again, may mga participation pa din naman yung test team natin siya. Okay? Next natin, we have the execution phase wherein dito, this is carried out by the testers in which testing of the software is built. Okay, is done based on testing plans and test case prepared. Okay, this consists of test scripts execution or the test cases, maintenance, and bug reporting. If bugs are reported, then it is reverted back to the development team for correction and retesting will be performed. Ayan. So, execution na tayo ng test cases. So, kung dito, sabi natin kanina, ayan, wait lang, remove natin. Sabi natin kanina, kapag gumawa ka dito, nasa test case development phase ka, ito po ay nakablank. After test execution phase, ito po ay completed na. Ibig sabihin, may fill out na yung mga test cases natin. So, balik tayo dun sa test case number 1 kanina. Okay? Halimbawa, yung ating first test case, nag-launch ng application with this input. Our expected output is Facebook home, dapat lalabas. And the moment we executed this test case, ito, ang naging actual output natin is a Facebook home. Ibig sabihin na this test case is a passed one. Pasado siya sa testing. And we can assign test or test browser or details about the testing, ano yung ginamit ng browser, and the test case comment or the test comments. Dito pwedeng date wherein you conducted the test cases. Okay? So, example, dito yung number 2 natin. Okay? Though this is again an invalid data, pero expected output natin ay hindi makakalagin, but it is the actual output. Talagang hindi siya nakapag-login. Sabi doon, the email address or phone number that you've entered don't match any account signed up for an account, which is basically our expected output. So therefore, this test case number 2 passed. Okay? And we have the test comments. Again po, ulitin ko lang, hindi po ibig sabihin that invalid data means failed test case. Okay? It will depend on the expected and actual output. Okay? So basically, that's our test execution phase. Completed also yung ating requirement trace matrix or traceability matrix, which is yung nasa first part natin. Kasi dun sa ating matrix, balik tayo lang, ito na yung mga test cases. Ayan. Ito yung mga test cases na makikita natin dito sa ating test case table. Ayan. Ito na po yan. Okay? Ayan. Dito natin siya nilalagay. Okay, sa number. Pwede siyang 1, 2, 3, but para mas okay, we can assign TC01, TC02, and so on and so forth. Okay? Ayan. So, example niyan ay yung mga ganitong interface. So, we can have, okay, testing for each of these. Halimbawa, paano kung walang first name blank, may laman to, meron to, will it accept, okay, my entry if my first name doesn't have a value. Okay, so for this example, we have several test cases for this. Sa isang form pa lang, madami nang pwedeng gawin. Okay, now, since halimbawa lahat po ng test cases natin dito ay nag-pass na, yan, or na-execute na, so we can proceed with our test cycle closure. So ito na yung ating exit criteria. Sabi dito, it is the phase wherein we have completion of test execution, which involves several activities like test completion reporting, collection of test completion matrices, and test result. By the way po, if during our test cases or test execution, nagka-error po yung ating system, we need to revert it back to the development team for correction. So, ibinabalik po natin yan with the developer, and pagbalik ulit sa test team, tulad ng sabi natin, you do not repeat the same test case, but you reviewed the test cases, you revised it, you add new test cases. Okay, so ganun po yung process natin. Kapag may error, ibabalik kay developer. Kapag naayos si developer, provide ng new test cases until masatisfy na lahat ng test cases na nagawa natin. Okay? Kapag okay na, nasa closure na tayo. Sabihin, all of the reports or the results are well documented. Okay? And during these phases, we meet and discuss, even analyze the testing artifacts to identify strategies that have to be implemented in the future, taking lessons from the current test cycle. So all of the learnings, all of the experiences from this test case that we have executed can be used as a tool or guide for our next succeeding projects. Okay? Babalik pa rin tayo dun sa ating principle na pesticide paradox. Okay? If you are testing a system, okay, a new system, old, okay, and existing test cases won't find new bugs. Sabihin, from all of the experiences with your past testing or your current testing, you just take lessons from it and you do new approaches. You identify new strategies. Okay? The idea is to remove process bottlenecks for future test cycles. Deliverables nito, test closure report, test matrix, ito po yung kailangan with our exit criteria. Okay? Or yung mga things that we should submit, before we conclude our testing. Kaya nga po siya closure. Okay? And I think that's the end of the discussion. Question po, anyone? Okay, question from the group, from the section. Okay. Question? I think wala namang question. Okay, so hindi pa tayo nagpapangita. Ano, tama ba? Hindi pa tayo nagpapangita ng face-to-face. Ano, dahil laging tinatamaan ang ating schedule. At the same time, ay 3 oras lang po tayong nagmi-meet every even week. Ano kasi yung ating next class, kahit po ng face-to-face ay laging online ng Friday. Ano, so we will be trying our best that during our face-to-face meeting, we will be executing personally these test cases. Ano, pwedeng halimbawa, magpasulat ako sa board, okay, create halimbawa, okay, pwedeng let's see, Julian, create the first test case and execute it in the front of the class. Pwedeng ganun yung magiging atake natin kapag face-to-face. Ano? So, I think so much for that na lang muna since it's nearing towards 7 p.m. Ano? So, we will be having, I think, another lesson on Friday, which is our chapter 2 naman na. Ano? So, unti-untiin lang natin kasi tulad po ng sabi ko for SQA, for each of the topics po, ay napakadaming subtopics. For our chapter 2, we have 8 parts or 8 PowerPoint yon. Ano? So, again, that's the end muna of our discussion. And I will be uploading this PowerPoint after this class. So, if you still want to read it and have a copy, edi accessible siya sa classroom. Okay? So, can I request anyone or everyone to open their camera so that we can have our photo opportunity?
Uy, lumilip na, sir.
Hindi ko pala namalatan. Okay, yung iba? Ayan, how about the others? Okay. Ayan, meron pa bang habol? Okay, okay. Bilang ako, okay, 1, in my count, 1, 2, 3. Saglit lang. Okay,
Ow!
lang.
Kakainam.
Isa pa. Okay, isa pa. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ayan, okay. So, thank you po for attending and I have the monitor naman of your attendance. Okay.
Salamat, sir.
Ayan, salamat. Sino yun?
I-share.
Ayan, so pwede na po tayo mag-leave and see you
Sir,
on
thank you po.
Friday online again. Okay,
Okay,
pwede na po
sir.
tayo mag-leave.
Thank you.
Po, sir.